annual International Effective Cooperation in Europe Forum takes place at the Committee of the Regions, European Parliament and the European Commission. The organizer of it is the Dutch-Russian International Center. The event is devoted to cooperation between EU and Russia in the context of global perspective. The forum is participated by multi-level government, business, education and NGOs. The most effective of present cooperation models are demonstrated at the forum, and possibilities for their adaptation and application in the situation of economic and ecological crisis and political changes are shown. One of the most important tasks of the forum is to train students and young professionals as leaders able to develop innovational communication forms, which will allow correlating global tasks and local activities. The Dutch-Russian International Center is an organization aiming to contribute to sustainable development of the international community and supporting the new generation in professional, social and personal growth. In 2014, the Dutch-Russian International Center will be celebrating its 25th anniversary. The Fourth International Forum took part on May 27-29, 2013 in Brussels. The program had its continuation in the Netherlands. Traditionally, the opening session of the annual forum took place at the Committee of the Regions. The Committee of the Regions promotes establishing connections between global and European processes and work in regions. Luc van den Brande, member of the Committee of the Regions, chairman of Flemish European Liaison Office, says that every region has its own diamond and the most important resource is the human capital. He tells about the European Strategy 2020 and possibilities for cooperation, as well as about the triple helix approach.
The Latvian president was saying each region, each city has at least one diamond. Whatever the size, whatever the possibility, whatever the institutional architecture may be in some countries, each region, each city has at least one diamond. And the most important diamond is the human capacity. We are often saying, and I think it's true, that to not just overcome, but to build a new future, that we have to base our policies on the triple helix, the wonderful triple helix. The triple helix between the governments, the institutional actor, between the business and economic society, and the universities and research centers.
The second day's work took place at the European Parliament. Members of the European Parliament talked about work done at a high political level and answered questions about how it fits interests of different countries of the world. There were participants from more than 10 countries. The main theme of the Fourth Effective Cooperation in Europe Forum was Green Economy and 2020 Strategy. The world community puts much effort into solving complex environmental problems. However, it might seem reasonable to start by finding a crossing point between high-level politics and small practical deeds.
Cooperation between the European Union and Russia. I do this because I think it is the third or the fourth year already we are working together in this project. As far as agriculture and fishery is concerned, on the one hand, we need to make sure that we have good food, sound food, which is reliable, and on the other hand, we need to make sure that it is food brought up in a correct way and that we are not taking all the fish out of the seas and that within 5 or 10 years we have no fish anymore. That's also a key issue in our work. Furthermore, I'm active in the Committee of Environment, Public Health and Food Safety and in the Committee of Industry.
Sari Essayah, member of the European Parliament, told how from students' public activities she came into politics, was running for the Finnish presidential office. Many consider politics to be a dirty business. Those who have moral basics in their work should put more efforts into changing this image, Sari thinks.
So I believe in education. I believe that it's very, very important that all children, for example, they have the equal opportunity for good education. It shouldn't be something that it's relying on the financial situation of his or her parents, but all students should have the same possibilities for good education. And also I share the idea that state should support the education.
Sari Essaya and Peter van Dalen recently visited St. Petersburg and took part in the local event of the forum. They could see many possibilities for developing the effective cooperation in Europe model. In the framework of the local event, various themes were covered, from environmentally safe vessel recycling to religious freedom and intercultural dialogue. In May 2013, in St. Petersburg, the Nevsky International Environmental Congress was chaired by Valentina Matviyenko, chairperson of the Council of the Federation of the Federal Assembly of Russia, in 2003-2011 governor of St. Petersburg. Participants of the forum in Brussels asked many questions. So Asad Mawat, staff member of Pakistani parliament who took part in the preparation for the visit of the Russian State Duma delegation headed by Valentina Matviyenko, asked his question about the role of EU and Russia at the Middle East. At the European Parliament, participants received a consultation on the LIFE project and possibilities for subsidies. The International Environmental Expert Council was established. It included professionals on environment, politicians, governmental representatives, economists, specialists on construction and green technologies. The main planned project is food supply and lifestyle, which will be opened in St. Petersburg and Moscow in September 2013. The project was presented by Inga Ivanova and Wim de Hoop. The project is aiming to train young professionals having skills and knowledge for working in projects which require a combination of global approaches and local interests. The project includes various aspects of policies and consumers' attitude to promote sustainable society. On the third day, forum's participants had meetings with representatives of different organizations, including the European Commission, regional offices, and the Russian Center for Science and Culture. The Russian delegation continued its work in the Netherlands. The aim of the program was to see how the Netherlands realized the European tasks for green economy and food strategy projects. The members of the delegation had meetings with representatives of Dutch municipalities, education and business. The matter of their discussion was interaction between big cities and small towns.
And we act in this matter in cooperation with the province as another important public factor, public partner, the government, of which we are reliable for some funds that are given to us and to the province, and of course the private partners, the companies which are present in this area and which should reallocate.
Self-supporting in environment and food and energy and all those things. And that must be Gouda, and we must judge it and take the best of it.
One of the forum's tasks was to involve the youth into the search of ways for effective cooperation in Europe. Young people from the EU countries come from training in Russia, while young Russians visit the EU countries. Young professionals and students told why the forum is so important for them.
This conference in Brussels was a great opportunity for me to do that, so that made me a lot of happy man, so to say. And getting people together and cooperate and communication between them, it's an important thing also for the future of the European Union. So I think it was a great opportunity for me and for all the participants of the conference to be there and just communicate.
I'm Andrei, I'm from Romania, and I'm a student, an Erasmus student in Saxe University, Enschede, the Netherlands. And we came here at this conference with the faculty. Well, it was a really nice experience, a really nice trip. And the thing I liked most about this was the fact that I think it's really, people really wish to cooperate in Europe, and they really want to share the know-how, the knowledge, and I think this is really important for the future and for what we would like to build in Europe and what we would like to have in our continent. Well, I'm pretty positive and optimistic, and I hope that this kind of opportunities and conferences will be all over Europe. So the students and why not the teachers could come together and share a lot of ideas and a lot of really interesting and useful things.
If you would like to join the events of 2013-2014, you can contact organizers by email.